This is True Buds, that Mary Jane, now we ain't new to this. For my stoners and for my cannabis enthusiasts, never heard a show as good as this. Yeah, number one, it's the best. Bringing in many special guests in the industry of cannabis. Business owners to growers, even artists you know of. So sit back and just roll up the perfect show for my smokers. True Buds.
Yeah. Hey, what's happening? Welcome to the True Buds Show. It's your buddy Jack Woltering here with Californiaclouds420. Go follow her on Instagram. Here with Fresh from the Fresh 500. Yeah. We got a Rosin Bomb sitting right here. We're going to dive into some conversation about that in a little bit. But what's up, guys? Thanks for making the trip out here.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Most definitely.
For sure. So what you're doing on your Instagram page is really cool. So I've been following you for a while. I know I talked a while back, but you're dropping content, at least a post a day, or?
I try to, definitely. Consistency has definitely been key, so we try to work on as many projects as possible. It's definitely been a great outlet to connect with different companies and stuff like that. I feel like just Instagram as a platform has just been amazing because you can just put out what you feel creatively and, get good energy back, I guess.
Hell yeah. And that's the beauty of it to me is like I do more YouTube and the community there is awesome and really cool. But I feel like it's almost easier to like reach out. Am I wrong? Is it easier to reach out to somebody on IG and be like, what's up? Like, cause like
I feel so. I mean, I definitely have had great success reaching out to other people. We've met a lot of very cool people along the way. I help manage her page and a few others. But yeah, I mean, I would say IG is the way to go.
Yeah, some awesome people we've met along the way have definitely been like other influencers, such as the Faded Kitten. She has awesome content. She's an OC as well, so we've worked with her a lot. And we've also worked with Geronimo from Dreamworld. He's a reggae artist, and we've worked with him on some of his recent music videos and stuff like that. It's been an awesome experience.
Very cool. And I'll definitely throw those links, at least on our YouTube video, down below for both of those. And we'll, give them a little love. But that's awesome that the reggae vibe. I always need to hear new stuff.
Oh yeah, the reggae vibe's real nice, especially in Venice. There's seems to be a lot of people doing a lot of cool things out there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how is the OC vibe compared to the LA vibe with cannabis? Is it about the same, or is it like, are there any?
I would say, I don't know. You go first, yeah.
It's a weird question.
It is a weird question. Okay, so I guess we like to travel like from LA to like San Bernardino, San Diego, and the environments is just different every place you go. Like there's always sessions and stuff like that, so you can always find like great deals and everything. I guess just like the way they put it out. I don't know. What would you say?
It's like, yeah, it's they have more of like a business mind, I guess, when you go to LA. You really feel like they want to, push the companies and everything and get. Doesn't matter if it's legal or illegal. They want to, get a branding behind it, and I don't know. I think it's a beautiful thing because I think entrepreneurship is key.
Definitely.
That's why I'm so happy to have you both here today, because I'm trying to do the same thing, essentially just creating content that has value for people. And that's why I'm like very pleased and honored to have you guys like talking and learning from you, because I feel like everybody listening and watching can too, because a lot of these people are probably on the same grind. Like how do you become, a cannabis influencer? How do you become a manager, and get sponsorship and meet these connections?
It's I don't know, I guess it's just dedication, in my opinion. I just started my page by like literally every single day posting one thing, and you just tell yourself, okay, like I'm gonna put my energy into this, and if you work long enough and hard enough on something, like fruits will come from that, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Real talk. That's a good standard to have, and that's what helps me with my YouTube, is committing to a Wednesday, Sunday video. Mm-hmm. But I need to make the commitment for Instagram and all in the other platforms. But like having that commitment for, like, kind of sounds like you're saying, and for me, it just kind of forces you, like, you gotta put it out.
And like having a schedule, definitely.
We found that. The commitment part, would be the hardest part for me. And thankfully, that's not my area. My area is more figuring out where we need to go, what we need to do, the events that we need to be at, and things of that nature. But yeah, the commitment's key, because without that, none of that would ever matter. It doesn't matter who you meet if you can't show that you're going to be out there every day doing what you say you're going to do. You're not going to be taken seriously.
So you kind of have the overall like game plan or kind of vision.
Oh yeah, and then I do all the camera work, things of that nature. But in editing,
Oh, you mentioned that earlier. So what do you use to edit?
Premiere Pro.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'm a Final Cut 10 newbie. I just haven't wanted to embrace the learning curve. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, see, I've been thinking about trying to learn Final Cut, but I don't know, because
No, you're in a better place with that, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mess with it.
Okay.
But it's like iMovie, like it's really user friendly, and I love it. But it's like,
No, definitely.
but to learn what you're doing would take me so much time. I'm like, oh, I'd just rather make videos.
It took time. Definitely took time, but I think it was worth it, because there's a lot of stuff that you can achieve by just even just a little bit of knowledge on Adobe.
Yeah, and that's what I've been doing with like this whole podcast. I've like gone into a wormhole, like seeing stuff on the back end, learning. I'm like, okay, like I've sank so many hours watching and learning videos. And
Oh yeah.
it's a key, right?
Yeah,
It's like-
exactly. That's what I was
Literally
telling her.
what you
Yeah.
do is like YouTube video after YouTube, video.
Yeah, it's just self teaching, I guess. YouTube video or YouTube's invaluable.
It's right there. It's just like
Yeah.
at your fingertips. And you guys were saying that you're gonna have a little studio yourself soon.
Yes.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Working on
Definitely.
building that.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I'm working on building a platform. We already have a name for it, but we don't have, I guess, everything necessary. But it'll be up soon. It'll be called Stoner Shenanigans. It'll be skits and things of that.
That's catchy. That's
Yeah.
catchy.
Comedy, entertainment, weed, everything you
Awesome.
need.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah, I don't know if you guys caught any of them, but I've tried to do like some stoner comedy videos and just have fun with them, and that's where I have the most fun, honestly.
right?
It's like you're laughing, having fun with who's ever in it or whatever you're doing,
yeah.
and then it's like just a good time.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
And that's a good spot to be in the comedy, and that's what this space here is cool too, because like Nolan and Mike, who help run the show here, they're comedians as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like Nolan was just saying, he's like got a show in a little bit, so they do stand up, so it's
We gotta check that
Yeah,
out.
we got definitely.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love stand up. Yeah.
Jetting right over to it right after this. We all figured out how to do all this from YouTube too.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the same
yeah.
hustle.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
Nolan.
YouTube is like, I guess, a mini community college. I guess you could say.
You just if you ask the right question.
I like that. I like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my coworker was actually talking to me about that today. She's like taking a class on social media and stuff, and she's like asked me like, "Hey, we started around the same time. I see like you've built your page. Like, what have you done and everything?" And I just told her like I've watched so many YouTube videos on like how to build your brand, your Instagram, like yourself, like, and I don't know. That's just the only thing I guess that I've found to just learn is just keep searching, keep going down that wormhole on YouTube.
That's a beautiful thing, especially when you're really stoned as well. I'm just like, all right, I'll keep watching.
Oh yeah.
It's 5.
Yeah.
It's 4 a.m. What am I doing right now?
Yeah, that's definitely video.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I try to talk to her about everything I learned. It's like, I try to jam pack 4 or 5 hours of learning, in 30 minutes. I know sometimes it's overwhelming.
Yeah, he'll be like, okay, I just learned all of these things about all of these lenses. Let me tell you in like 5 minutes. I'm like, okay.
And the beauty of that too, to me, is like that helps when I do that. When I try to condense and explain something, it like reaffirms what I watched. It like
Exactly.
implants it in your brain
Oh
even
yeah.
more. Like,
Definitely.
so I keep staring at this Rosin Bomb here. So do you guys use this on the regular or what?
I'll let you start.
Well, yes, I definitely love this Rosin Bomb. It's only 13 pounds, so it's like the perfect tabletop rosin press. Like at home, put your nug in it, pop it out, freshly squeezed, solventless rosin. Like, can't get any better than that.
And it's also electric.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's no loud noises like those hydraulic presses, and it applies like 1,500 pounds of pressure with these little plates, and it's just beautiful. I did not know these existed until like recently, and I'm in love.
Yeah, I've been kind of looking around for something like that. Like I don't, press the most stuff or do the most dabs or anything, but like that thing looks heavy duty, like just from the way it's set up there for real. What's the ideal temp?
Well, see, some people say it's anywhere between 190 and 210. I found that 210's like the best for, the yield, and I like to, smoke. Some people say that, 190 is better just because whatever the extra amount that you're getting is not something that you do want to smoke, but I don't really find that to be true. I don't know. I press about like an 8 to 4 grams and almost about get, a gram back of, usable rosin, which is beautiful.
And do you just put that in a micron bag, or do you put it in parchment? Or
Actually, with that little amount, you can just put it in parchment. And I think, did we bring it? It's a little tiny
The
thing.
little
It's called a
pre-press,
pre-press. I don't have it on me.
is that like the metal thing that you pack it down?
Yeah,
it's,
and you can make it into like it's not like a quarter. It's probably like a $50 in size, and it's pretty thick. But I mean, you can press down a lot of product with that. And
so pre-press is the key to get the best yield.
yeah, and it keeps it together. But the micron bags are also good too, because it just depends on how much you're gonna press or what material you're using. Because if you're gonna do like a shake or something like that, definitely want to have those micron bags.
So, and you usually press just some fresh flour. Do you grind it up first?
Yeah, and you definitely want to make sure it's fresh, because the flour, it could be good flour, but if it's not fresh, I find that it will give that brown color, which is not ideal. But you can still get some good tasting stuff from that.
So the best color is a nice clear,
Personally,
or
I
like
think
or like
so.
a light.
A light,
hue.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely, and it can be like pretty gold. I would say like a blonde color. Yeah, definitely.
And you're golden.
Yeah, I just think it's like a oxidization thing. That's my opinion on it. I think that
Oh, like if it goes too long. You're
if it
saying?
goes too
Yeah.
long, yeah, and it just I'll get that brown.
So, and how long, once you hit the go button on here, how long does it squish it for? If you had to say like a
Like
guess.
4 minutes, I think we found.
Sometimes, yeah.
Like,
so you
can
set the
do, like
timer?
2 to 4 minutes. Yeah, usually
Okay.
we just set the timer like on the phone or something. 2 to 4 minutes. I'd say like if you do the full 4 minutes, you might get a little bit more like yield wise. So that would be the only other benefit. Some people say like if you do it like on the lower temperature for like less time, it'll taste like slightly better. But I feel like that's like up to personal preference.
And that's a crazy thing too, is like you were saying earlier with like the 190 to 210, and like it really is all personal preference. I mean,
Oh yeah.
do you do anything with the stuff that you press afterwards? Do you turn it into edibles or anything, or do you kind of
actually, a really cool thing you can do with it is you can take it and you can put it into your own pen. So that way that if you are into buying pens and you're kind of scared with the whole entire, is this pen going to kill me? Thing that's going on. Yeah, you can just put your own stuff in there. So then you know exactly what you're getting. And I have seen a few companies out there actually on Instagram that do that. They mix their solution in with whatever your product is, and that way you know that you're getting nice clean stuff.
wow,
Yeah.
very cool. I've wanted to do a video about that for a long while, but I'm like,
yeah.
this seems kind of hard.
Oh.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Like the whole
Yeah.
process.
No,
Yeah.
definitely, because you can get really into it, and like what is it? It's called I can't remember the machine. There's like a really cool machine that they have that diffuses the cannabis, and I don't know exactly what it's called, but at the moment. But yeah, looking into all that kind of stuff, it did get really confusing. Definitely.
Oh, is the Roto Vape or no?
No, the Rotovape, that actually is pretty cool too in its own. So basically, you can winterize your product. Basically, what that is you're taking isopropyl or some kind of other alcohol. I think it needs to be 60% or higher. You mix that in with your wax, and you let it freeze for a few days or a day, and you take it out of the freezer. And then you pour the solution, because it doesn't freeze over because it has the alcohol in it. So you pour the solution into a Pyrex, or you can pour it into your Rotovape. And so what a Rotovape does is it rotates and it heats up at the bottom. So that heat it hits the alcohol, and it takes it and puts it up into another chamber, into another canister where it collects that alcohol that you just used, right? And so it leaves your cleaned material, and you can take that material and you can you want to take about 95% of the alcohol out, because you don't want to take the whole percentage out, because you know how wax sticks to stuff. You don't want it sticking, so yeah, it's a viscosity problem. So you take that and you pour out your alcohol, so you have the alcohol to reuse, and then you take the solution and you just have your winterized wax, and they use that for food, so it's a lot cleaner.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know your stuff, man. That's thorough, though. That's what's up. Because I was thinking, if it was me and I was pressing, I'd probably just like maybe take the pucks that are left and just like throw them in a crock pot with some coconut oil or something. Because that kind of already decarbs it in a way, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. It heats it up, yeah, definitely. And you're doing everything right. Yeah.
If I had one of these, I'd be taking a lot more dabs. That's for sure. It would just sit like on my nightstand like that. Just be 4 minutes. Let's go.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We would do that sometimes. Like I'd be like, all right, I'm coming home from work. Like, and the press would already like he'd have it all heated up and everything. Squish it up and do a dab.
Have you guys, or how did you kind of find Rosin Bomb, or have you used other presses before? Like,
Well, actually, that was the thing. We never used another press, and I was looking at this for a long time, and I saw how you could do it off of a hair straightener, and I was thinking that was really cool, but how would you do it on a larger scale? So, and this was back I think in 2015 or 2016, and it just came out that they had shirt presses and things like that people were using in these like presses from China that were like just crazy, and like there was always a heating problem where they couldn't get the heat to evenly disperse across the the little panel, I guess you'd call it, the metal plate or whatever.
Yeah, the metal plates, yeah.
And so all these companies started coming out with these rosin presses, and the first one I actually saw was Burning Bush. It was Sasquatch rosin press. That was the first one I saw, and I noticed that they had hydraulic presses where you have to like pump it, right? And
like manually pump it?
I don't think so. And not on all of them. They have other versions where I think it's like you just press a button and it starts it up.
Setup, yeah.
But when I saw this, I was like, this is where it's at. This is simple. You just press a button. It's fully electronic, and I mean, there's no sound, no nothing to it. I mean, it's so quiet. I mean, you could literally run this interview right now and be like, you wouldn't even know that it was happening. I mean, it's that quiet. So for me, and living, where we do, people like it quiet. I like it quiet. So this is perfect.
That's what's up. And like I said before, you could tell that thing is heavy duty. Like,
oh yeah, but it is. But it still doesn't weigh that much, which I thought was kind of like crazy.
Yeah.
It
It's like
looked
perfect
like it would
for
weigh
like
a lot.
traveling too. Like we went up to Central California and brought it with us, and it was easy. Just tossed it in the car and went.
hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is that your guys' what are your favorite ways to smoke? Or prefer dab? I know you do a lot of vape content, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I really like Big Bang carts. I've been vaping on them like literally every day since I like met them like a few months back. They have like really clean carts, like lab tested everything, which is really hard to come by these days, like especially with all the like vaping scares and everything. I actually like did a post recently on Instagram just like about vape awareness and everything, just trying to tell people like, it's okay to smoke vape pens as long as they're lab tested and they're good to go. Because it's like people are like dying or having health issues, but they're dying from the black market carts. And it's like everyone just looks at carts like as they're all the same, but they're not. Like, and you need to be informed about it so you know what you're smoking.
Yeah, definitely. And we saw a lot of those carts first pop up at a lot of those sessions. In like the package form of exotic or dank.
Yep.
And I mean, it's not a funny matter, but one of the funnier things that we did find out is there was a post, I forget where it came from, but it was in like the Google feed, how you get all those like posts that come down and they just tell you about the world from different news outlets. It was saying that 66% of the cases were coming from one company, and they're actually not a real company. They just are a packaging company, and the packaging company is called Dank, and they don't actually sell any real material,
Like legitimate
anything.
carts,
Yeah,
yeah.
they just sell the packaging, and then people buy it and put their own things in there. So when people are buying these, they think that they're buying it from a reliable, legitimate company, and it's no one's
It's just who knows where,
Exactly.
what it, and that's why it's awesome. I've made some videos myself, and that's why it's really cool that you made those posts. Is like just raising awareness, because it's like vapes. There's still good vapes. I mean, I have one in my pocket.
Oh yeah.
Have you guys actually? I've got this like 2 days ago. One of the Stizzies. Do you guys ever use those?
We've tried those. Yeah, they're
They're
not
pretty
bad.
solid.
It's the same thing. Like you just have to make sure you're getting the legit carts. Because like a few months back, we used to get like a delivery service, and I thought I was getting like the real Steezies, but nope. Like
Oh, really?
they look like it, but the whatever they filled it with was not legitimate Steezies. So
I've had some people hit me up on like a couple of my videos and leave comments like, "Oh, I just ordered through." I've done some ease videos and a couple other videos, and like, I just got a cart. Doesn't seem real, and that's where it's like, I don't know. There should be an easier way to test, but
There's a pretty good way. It's just, in my opinion, it is a little expensive, and I mean, there's reasons for that. I mean, with all the new laws and regulations, and the new taxes on marijuana, they're gonna have to up the price. If you're gonna be going through a legitimate source legally, and there's a great clinic. It's called Mankind. It's in San Diego. They have legal stuff, and you can tell the legitimacy because they have strips and like barcodes on the side, but it's actual like stickers that like lift off of the
packaging.
the packaging, yeah. Because it's like, they actually have to, barcode them, and, you can find out where it's been lab tested and who it's been lab tested by, all these things. And if you buy them, they're like $70, $80, $90 for just, a 1 gram cart. But the difference is like mind blowing.
Just like quality, taste wise, and then like just to like for me having that trust that I know that something I'm buying has been like reviewed by their purchasing team, lab tested, like tested by their team, and then finally in my hands, then like that comfort is worth the extra $20-$25. Like for me, I'm going home happy.
Exactly, and that's what you need to know, because if it's 20, 30, $40, they can't possibly do that. Lab testing it, sending it to a distributor, and then sending it back to the clinic, and having it come from the farmer, because every single time that those hands are getting passed, it's getting taxed, and I'm pretty sure it's getting taxed at whopping 30%. So that's why it's going to be a drawn up price. But yeah, it is nice to know, yeah, that you're getting the real thing.
That's awesome that we're talking about this too, so people kind of see. Because I'm with you too. It's like, if I'm paying an extra whatever it is for the peace of mind and a better high. Like,
oh yeah, exactly, exactly. Because if you're looking how those pens are made too, they're mixing them with the certain things. So when you buy these fake ones, you're not getting all the concentrate. You're getting maybe 0.5 of the concentrate mixed with whatever else they want to put in that pen to make it look nice. So you're still paying your $80, $90 a gram, either which way you slice it. Yeah,
and it's hard too, because a lot of them, like this one seems solid to me that I just got, but it's like a lot of them I still can't get that flower or like dab high. It's which is kind of with a vape, but it's like sometimes if I'm puffing too much, I'm like, is this thing really what I paid for? $40 for this half gram? What's going on?
True. I was gonna say one brand we just tried recently was Raw Gardens, and like literally one hit of that feels like you're hitting a dab, and it was $70 for a full gram, but I'll take that any day.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. Like, I don't know, I've never had like something that tasted or blew my mind that much, or just when it comes to vape pens. But yeah, Rock Gardens.
Rock Gardens, I'll have to give
Yeah.
that a shot. My favorite I've tasted to date is I believe it was Jetty, but it's a sage and sour.
Okay.
And when I puffed on that one, it was like I was hitting a pipe or something. I got like that full like flavor, and I was like, okay, this is my favorite.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why I like ingrained in my, I'm like sage and sour is where it's at. I'm pretty sure it was Jetty, but
Oh yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have to remember that.
Yeah, we'll
we're gonna
definitely
do
try
a video coming up where we compare like a bunch of different vape cartridges like next to each other. So we'll definitely have to look out for that brand.
Oh yeah, yeah.
very cool.
Yeah, and another thing too about I guess why you don't get that full weed effect is because the winterization thing that I was talking about earlier. That's one of the things that they use to make these pens. So they will add in the terpenes afterwards, right? So the terpenes can come from anything. They can come from any kind of fruit, anything with basically flavor. So they put in terpenes that aren't from actual cannabis in a lot of the pens, and that's where you're gonna have that taste issue. That's where you're gonna have like I don't really feel like this is gonna get me to that level, but the cannabis terpenes, the ones that are actually derived from cannabis, those cost a lot more. I think 3 times more. So yeah, you know, if you want to cut costs, it's a great way to, you know, cut costs is not to use them. So the companies that actually go that extra length and use the actual cannabis terpenes, those are good companies in my opinion.
And those are the ones that are going to last probably, right? Especially
yeah,
now
definitely.
after this whole scare and epidemic
Exactly,
thing is like,
yeah.
there's going to be a lot of people weeded out, but the people who've been doing it right are going to be in a good place, hopefully.
yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing for them too, is all the extra taxes and stuff, but it's cool that I feel like everybody understands that. Like, it is what it is. You know, you're going to have to pay maybe a little more, but it's part of the game right now in terms of at least the legal market. You
Exactly.
know?
Yeah.
It's like a service, like, to the people and stuff. So it's like, I don't know, like, don't you want to do right by your customers? In my opinion, like, I would want to. I'd want to give them the best thing possible, and, you know, just have that understanding. Like you said, you know, you're paying more, but we're doing something great. So why not?
So yeah, go buy a fake one or buy some real shit. Like,
Definitely. Yeah.
that's what's up, though. Yeah, I've since I moved, I've been out here for about 4 years coming on, but I've doing a lot more vapes out here. But in where I was before, Kansas, there were still tons of vapes out there, but of course it's all black market. But a lot of those still were legit, and I could get the flavor. I feel like sometimes you can tell it almost feels like, I don't know if it's the right term, but watered down. If like you're talking to terpenes earlier, like this kind of seems kind of like a artificial flavor.
Yeah.
Like you're smoking
exactly.
a Kool-Aid
and
packet.
that's
or
where
like,
you get that from. Because as soon as you winterize your product, I actually did that experiment when I was 18. I had, you know, I winterized my stuff and I made it into like this gold, almost like amber, but see-through, nice like nuggets, right? And when I first had it, it was brown. Like, it was literally brown. It was not looking nice at all. And then it was looking beautiful. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is like gold. And then I smoked it and I'm like, you know, there's no flavor whatsoever. So, yeah, that's where it comes from. And I guess somehow in a rotovape, they do this. They can take, or I guess it may not be in a rotovape, but they can take the rotovape material, right? The material that's been washed with the alcohol. They can take the terpenes and then they can re-add them back in, the terpenes that they've already separated too. So they can still use it to wash and still preserve the terpenes from the cannabis. Yeah, but you know, that's on a different level, and that's, I think, with the machine that I was talking about, that's what that does. It splits the two.
Do you think with that substance, with this like 5% alcohol or whatever you're saying, could you use that as a tincture, you think?
Oh yeah. No, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Most definitely. Yeah.
Do you guys ever do tinctures, or how do you guys feel about edibles, tinctures, all that?
I love edibles. Personally, I mean, I do, but like, and then I guess I do and I don't. I don't like buying them anywhere really. I mean, even off of clinics, I don't like buying them. It's just, for me, it's not strong enough. So I actually like making my own drink. And the drink, it's like basically concentrated, you know, cannabis within a drink, and all you have to do is just get chocolate, right? And you can infuse the chocolate with as much concentrate as you want, and then you could use something like, you know, coconut oil. That'd be perfect if you melted it into coconut oil, and you drink it, and yeah, something else. I mean, you'll be lit for like 2-3 days, and I'm not joking. Like, you'll wake up stoned. It's annoying, actually. I've done it a few times.
I'm with you. That's my personal favorite, is coconut oil in a smoothie. I find it's the easiest and best way.
Yeah.
And then and it's kind of healthy.
Mm-hmm.
That's not why I do it. It's just easy. And it tastes good too.
Oh yeah.
Like, I've taken straight up scoops of the coconut, but yeah, it's hard to sometimes get. You always wonder too, like when you're taking edibles, or at least me, I'm like, that's why I've done some reviews and tests, because I'll take some and I'll wait a while. I'm like, okay. I'm waiting.
Oh yeah.
For the most part, they're pretty good for me. I somehow, as many edibles as I take, I have a pretty low, like 30 milligrams will still get me like pretty solid.
Okay.
Like if I want to get like rocked, like 50 milligrams will like hit me hard.
Okay.
But like my sweet spot's like 20, 30, 35, depending on it. But they all depend. Like, I don't know about if like you've bought some, it says 100 milligrams and I take like 50 sometimes. I'm like, this is like 20 of this other product.
That's why I never buy any edibles at a sesh, except for one company I actually do buy it from. It's called Karma's Kitchen. They make actually really good stuff. It's like, you know, it's like homemade. They still package it nicely, but it feels homemade, you know. And yeah, they make coffee and, you know, things of that nature. But besides that, yeah, I really don't buy edibles at Seshers because, yeah, you don't know what they're putting into it. It's the same thing, you know, you want to see what you're getting at that point. So, yeah, I love to, I don't know, I love to eat edibles.
Yeah, for me, I feel like it's like they either hit me or they don't. Like, I'll either take like something that says it's like 50 or 100 milligrams and I just like won't feel anything, or I'll take something that's like 100 or 200 and then it's like, all right, you're done.
Yeah, it's
like,
like
you're
lights
done for the
out.
day. So, but yeah, no, the chocolate one he made, I put like in hot chocolate and I was just so lit. Like, I think I like that. I blacked out from being just like so high and then like woke up and was like still super high. I'm like not going to work the next day.
That's
Like,
perfect for
nothing.
the holiday season coming up. Get a little medicated hot chocolate in your system.
Oh yeah, yeah. I like doing it with coffee. You know, she doesn't like coffee, so I like coffee though. So I just make like a mocha type thing, and yeah, go to town.
Yeah, I got a cannabis infused coffee. It was only 10 milligrams the other day. But I was like, oh,
not
that's
bad.
kind of cool. Like the weed didn't really hit me because it was 10 milligrams, but the cold brew, the caffeine hit me. I'm like, okay.
Oh
this
yeah,
is-
oh yeah.
Your perfect holiday gift. You can just like give it to everyone. Like, just, you don't even have to tell them. Just be like, here you go. Like, enjoy.
Oh, there's like Christmas morning, everybody just passed out under the tree or something weird.
Right.
Like, that'd be awesome presents though. Like, just Christmas morning, like going down and just getting a big box of edibles,
Oh yeah.
cartridges and everything. Like, I don't know. I have a big family and a lot of younger siblings, so Christmas for me, like my favorite part is just seeing all these kids like rip stuff open. And that's how I'd be if I had some edibles and shit
Oh
under
yeah.
there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when I was, I guess when I was 17, I was smoking a little bit, and my mom, she knew that I was, and she just didn't like it, that I was like smoking, in the first place. But she didn't like how I was smoking outside. She was like, I want you to kind of come inside if you're gonna do that, and I need to get you like a clinic card to make this legal because I actually, had ADHD. And they were giving me like some pills for that. And for me personally, when I'm stoned, I can zone in on what I'm doing, and I can concentrate. So I wasn't eating. It was like a horrible, experience on the pills. So, she was like, let's just try something else. So, that's what we decided to try. And I was pretty stoked about it, obviously. So, she wanted to take me somewhere. I was reading all about it. I mean, I was studying, YouTube, of course. And I, found out some stuff. Actually, it was on Reddit that you could get a caregiver's license, and that caregiver's license could be gotten, by someone like my mom, and then she could get me a clinic card under her name, right? And that's the way I got in to be able to go into clinics at 17, and everyone thought it was like so cool because 17 years old walking into a clinic, getting whatever I wanted.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, when we walked in, it was funny because the first thing she saw, she was like, on the fence about it, like debating the whole entire time, like, should we be here? Should we not? Should we be here? Should we not? And then we walk in and like, it's a bunch of bongs, just like a shit ton of bongs, like everywhere up on the wall. And, it's like so cool. It's all like lit up. She's all like, oh, she's like kind of calming down. And then like we turn and she sees the Mona Lisa, right? And it's like the Mona Lisa with like a huge like neon blunt in her mouth. And she's like, oh my gosh. And like she, wants to like leave instantly. I'm like, calm down. Like, it's okay. Like, it's okay. And then like, yeah. I don't know, somehow we walked out with it. And yeah, so now it's, years later, and she actually now has taken it upon herself to smoke. So she's now like my little experiment whenever I'm growing, anything, whenever we're growing anything, whenever we're doing anything, working with a new company, talking about, whatever. She always wants to get on the conversation, try a little bit here and there. And it's funny though, because, we smoke all the time. We don't have a lot of people in our lives just at the moment that just don't smoke that much. I mean, we just, are always busy, doing this cannabis lifestyle. So, she's that person. My mom is like that person that doesn't, smoke almost anything. Like she'll have one hit of a pen and like 2 hours, she's just like, oh my gosh, like, she's laughing at Jeopardy, which is like not funny whatsoever. I mean, yeah.
That's awesome though, because it gives you that, not many people can see that other perspective of having somebody in their lives like that, like where you're saying maybe testing a new product or trying something.
Exactly.
It's like good to see it from somebody who's not in the trench,
Oh, yeah.
like doing it every day. That's,
Exactly.
And what you said too with like the ADD and helping you hone in on what you're doing, like the natural remedy is like that's something that's bothered me a lot, is like having good friends and even kids in my little brother's grade, he's young as hell, like all prescribed to all this stuff. I'm like, damn, like,
Yeah, it can mess you up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really can. Yeah.
Like I saw this story, same thing like on social media. There's this lady named Tracy Ryan. She started this foundation called Saving Sophie, and it all started with her daughter who had cancer, and her daughter was just going in and out of like surgeries and chemo like all her life and everything, and they finally decided to turn to cannabis to see like if anything like could help like her at this point and stuff, and so it worked. It worked for her daughter and everything, and now she's like, I saw her post the other day, her daughter's now finally completely off chemo and just using like the cannabis tinctures, and it's just saved her life and so many other kids like that just have been told like, hey, like, like this is how much time you have to live, and that's definitely like really hard and stuff. And so to like see that cannabis is helping so many people like in the medical field is just like honestly like a miracle, and there needs to be like more people out there that do that, so just bringing awareness to everything. So yeah, but I think it's awesome.
And that's for real too. And it makes me, when you were talking there saying that, makes me wonder, like, now people are getting a little more open about it and being like, and it's still a closed off subject, but like how many people in the past 50, 100, however many years lost out because of the stigma, because of the laws. I haven't really thought about that. It was kind of sad, honestly.
Oh yeah,
it's
no,
like,
definitely. And it's like what we're losing out on construction, things like that. I mean, like apparently they're trying to make like they're not even trying to make it. It's already made. They're just trying to push it. It's called Hempcrete. Apparently, it's like a concrete made out of hemp, and
Damn.
mixed in with hemp. And apparently it's stronger than actual concrete. So, I mean, I don't know why we're not using that. And it's cheaper because, you're mixing in hemp, which is a cheaper, product.
And it's
than
like you're already
concrete.
growing the plants, so why not?
Exactly.
Use
And
every
apparently,
part, yeah.
apparently you can grow, like, what was it? It was like 10 times more wood with hemp than you can with an actual tree. So if you were to just make, fields of hemp, with the same amount of acres that you would have, like let's say you had 5 acres, and you just had trees on those 5 acres, versus if you had hemp, you could get more wood, off the hemp, way more than you would off of the actual trees. And that's due to how long it takes to grow hemp. You can grow hemp trees in 4 or 5 months that are massive, you know what I'm saying? And a real tree takes years, So that's also another thing. And I guess Queen Elizabeth, one of the queens in England, used to behead people if they wouldn't grow hemp in their backyards, because they were using it, to make everything, ropes, ships, everything, and seeds for protein, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very interesting. You kind of blew my mind there, but it makes perfect sense with the harvest time and everything. You got to wait so many years, but you can rotate probably however many crops to. Damn.
Yeah. Because people would be surprised. I mean, you think that, like, everyone is, like, home growing. Most people, they're not farmers. So you're thinking that, you can only grow, like, a 4 or 5 foot plant, in your house. And it's like, well, just put that thing outside. You can grow, 11-foot monster, It's up to you, the sun and the soil. So.
Do you guys grow? You're kind of saying something.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we had a little grow series going on for a little bit there. We had to kind of take a break. We had just moving situations, life, but it's going good.
Yeah, I hope we can get back into it. We worked with a bunch of different companies. Recently we did White Widow grow, and then we just did like a mini like early mist grow. But I really love working with like Vivo Sun. They have great products, and Mars Hydro as well have like great lights. So we definitely done good with that.
Yeah, and that's another thing about managing. Vivo Sun was like actually like, necessity, honestly, just to start everything. They were so helpful. They decided that they wanted to work with us. They were gonna help us out with some of the products that we needed to push us forward and help us grow. They actually cut a deal with us. We wanted to buy some products, and they helped us get to where we needed to be. And I just thought that was amazing. And every single one of their products that we have gotten from them, and I'm not obligated to say anything now. We filled our obligation, but every single one of their products, I mean, they work beautifully. And they sell budget tents, and lights and stuff like that. And for a budget tent, I mean, it's worked perfectly. We've had it for 2 years, and I mean, plan on having it, and using it in the future. It's held
Like,
up
still
everything.
looks brand new.
Yeah,
like,
it still looks
the
brand
day
new.
that we got
yeah,
it.
everything. So, yeah,
No,
they were
like,
really
sticky
helpful.
zippers, nothing. Like, yeah.
Nice. I need to. I'm a little jealous because I need to get my own going. I just don't have quite the space for it right now. But like you're saying, a little tent can go a long way. But I'm just like I just got to start my own grow. I have some
Oh, yeah.
friends that grow, but it's a dedication too,
Yeah.
right? And
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
But it's rewarding
It
seeing it
definitely is.
happen.
It is rewarding. It definitely is, fool. But Yosel's the way to go. If you're gonna start up, you definitely go there. They have like little small like tent setups. I mean, you can get. I think their smallest one was like a 3x3 or something like that. And then they have like the triangle tents.
Yeah,
you
the
know,
corner
you
ones,
can just
yeah.
put it in the corner. I mean, you could fit it right, probably like behind your. If you scoot up just a little bit,
Yeah,
you
and
could
it
fit it right
cuts
behind
That's
her.
probably the play for me.
Yeah.
That's probably what I got to get going
It's
on.
perfect. I mean, it's beautiful.
there's, like,
It's like a
one
Best
light,
Buy
yeah.
of grow supplies.
That's a good tagline. Yeah, I've learned a lot from the people I've done video, or one of the main dudes, Chris, who I've done grow videos with, has taught me a lot. But kind of the biggest thing he's taught me is like, dude, it just takes dedication, really, and putting the time in. And
Yeah, it definitely does. I would say, and it's hard. I mean, back to the dedication thing. I would say that you had a lot of dedication towards it when it came to getting the lights and the timing and the water and all that kind of stuff. Because I mean, you have to do it right.
There's like just so many details, I feel like, because it's like, okay, for the water, you want to use distilled water. So like I'd be going out to Albertsons like every day, bringing in like jugs back, like up the stairs, like bringing in water. And then just like the light schedule, because like we both work like doubles all the time. So it's like, all right, whoever's home, like, are you turning off the lights like at the right times? Like, are they on? Stuff like that. And then just nutrients. I felt like, it's you either give it a little too much or not enough, you never know. So just like being on top of it, or like just the deficiencies, like, okay, like what is this, like, okay, more, I don't know, nitrogen, more magnesium.
And I mean, also the struggle of having outlets that can't support the amount of lights and air conditioning and everything else and fans, and oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean, we had lights blow out. We would have run a timer, but didn't want to plug anything else into the outlet. And then the water situation wasn't possible. I mean, it's either go to Albertsons to get water or try to get a huge 10-gallon jug sitting outside with the net over it so bugs don't get in it. People are going to be like, what the hell is this guy doing? Yeah, not an option.
and that's kind of what I took from my boy too, is because he's like, every year you learn, like what you just said is like just dropping knowledge on me, and like that next year or your next grow will be that much better, right? It's like you just learning through, and 10 years from now your grows will be the shit.
Oh yeah,
if they're not already.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say our grows are the shit, but I mean, they're getting there. They're definitely getting there. I have a good friend, and she just met him recently, so I'd say you have a good friend too now. That used to teach me how to grow back in the day. Actually, I like computer stuff, so that's where I have the background in, the editing and stuff like that. And so back in the day, I used to go to computer game store, and I got kicked out because I was rolling a joint in the bathroom, and they saw like a few little pieces of weed, and they were like, "Get out!" And I'm like, "Oh my god!" And it's a place for stoners. Everyone there is like, everyone or every other person there is a stoner, and it just felt horrible. So anyways, I left, and I there was no place to go for like a year and a half. And then so like this little small place opened up, and everyone's like, oh dude, like you should go, like this guy smokes, and like he's like really cool, and like he's like the manager, and like you'd be fine if you went there. And so I'm like, all right. So like I go, and like I'm sitting there, and I just get up and I go to the back alley, and I just see this dude just like sitting there smoking. I'm like, oh hey, like what's up, man? And I've never smoked a dab before in my life. Never, didn't even know that like it existed, right? And so he's just smoking, and he's all like, hey, like, I'm like, you smoking a joint? I'm like, or he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, like I have one too, you mind if I spark up? Like, I was like, try this. And like I forget what it was, but it was something good. Like I had some good stuff. And he passed me his, and he told me that it had like wax in it or something. And I was like, wax, like, what's that? And so like, I hit it, And like I was like, oh my god, and then like it just was like, oh my god, because like it was really good stuff. Even like by today's standards, like I've seen some good stuff, and like this was still good stuff, and I just couldn't believe like I was like this high off of just like one hit. And then so like yeah, after that he like actually was the one who told me about the drink and how to make that drink. The night blacked out the first time I actually ever had it. I fell asleep in the computer chair, and I don't know what happened, but I mean it was crazy. And then they asked me if I was okay the next day, and I'm like, I made the drink that you told me how to make, and like yeah. But, yeah, he's a good grower, and he gave me a book. I gave it to her, so it's like I passed it on. I actually owe it to him, and I told him I was like, I'll keep pristine like care of this book, and it is nice. It looks very nice, and so if you're watching, it's nice, man. I promise. And so yeah, after she's done with it, I'm gonna give it back. But that is I guess instrumental in making these first 2 grows that we've done together, success.
Success, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like any time like I saw something on the leaves, I'm like, all right, let's look it up. Like, what could be wrong, And it's definitely helped.
Yeah. So I mean, all it takes is just a good buddy and a good book, and anyone can do it, and people should try, because that's where you're gonna get the good stuff. That's where you're gonna get the best deal on the good stuff.
And like we're saying earlier, where it's coming from.
Exactly.
And it's like that.
Yeah, you know where the water
feeling,
is coming from. That
you
you're
know
putting
everything.
into it.
That's why it's like,
Yep.
yeah, that's so nice. I've really got to start doing my own.
And just like the satisfaction too of like smoking something that you grew. You're like, I grew this. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Your time, your labor, and it's just like, the most rewarding thing that I haven't felt yet, or I imagine it would be.
Yeah, no, it is. It's really rewarding, yeah. And it's fun. It's just like, it's so hard to be patient, especially the first time you do it. You just always want to like snip one off the bottom. You're just like, don't do it. Like, don't do it. But like, it's really hard. I do it every time. I can't.
Now on these first 2, how many plants were you doing?
Oh, okay. So the first one?
The first one was like we had 5 seeds, and then like one like just didn't do too well. It was like 4 good ones and like 1 little baby plant.
It's like 7 grams at the end.
Yeah, the little baby plant, yeah. And then the second grow, we just did 2 plants. We just like wanted to like focus more like on the 2 and just like see like what can we perfect a little bit more, what can we do better and stuff. And then like you said, like we were in the process of moving and stuff, so we just wanted to make sure it's like more manageable and stuff.
Yeah, and then we did a few experiments too on the stuff, just like just for our own personal knowledge, nothing that we really documented. One of the experiments was the bags. Remember, we hung up one of the plants and kept it in the tent, and then we bagged the other one, because we didn't really have, like I said, all the equipment necessary, and we just got a bunch of equipment, and it was just not in the books to try to buy a humidifier and things of that nature. So we wanted to see which would be the best way to do it, if you just left it in the bag, to cure, or if you just left it hanging for 2 weeks and then put it in a jar to cure. And then so we tried it, and the results were kind of staggering, honestly. The stuff in the bag didn't come out too well, just considering the stuff that was hanging in the closet came out way better. It just looked nicer, first off, because it had the nice nug look, since gravity just did its work. And then also because the other stuff in the bag was more airy, and then also it just dried out a lot faster. So and I was checking it every day. But
the stuff in the tent, right?
The stuff in the bag.
It dried out faster than the tent. Okay,
because the tent stuff, we still left the leaves on, all the stuff, and just left it drooping, as a whole plant. So all the moisture, in the middle of the plant and everything was all kind of sticking to one place. Okay. And that's what I think, did it up. So to anyone out there, listening, don't rush the process of drying and curing. If you do that, your flavor, your everything is kind of going to be tanked. Massively.
And it's tempting. It'd be that's falling before the finish line. You put in all the work.
Yep.
Just be a little patient.
Yeah, because it's not worth it. It's totally not worth it, because it's just not going to come out the way you want. You'd be like, why? And it's because it dried out before it was ready.
I know there's some golden nuggets of wisdom there for anybody starting their own grow, and that's where I need to step it up and do mine. I keep saying that, but it's everybody, if they could have their own grow, have their own rosin press, be pressing their own stuff, making their own vapes, that is the most ideal. I mean, shout out to everybody who has dispensaries and doing their stuff, but if you could source it all yourself, that's
it's the most ideal.
A lot of it. I mean, it'd be hard to keep up with a lot of our intakes, I assume, to
it would.
You would need to be doing pretty serious.
Definitely. I mean, because it's like we did the autoflowers, and we can get those out in like about 3 months. I would say 3 months, 2 weeks.
Like growing and then like curing time.
Oh yeah, curing time too, and that's about a month and a half. So
Month and a half curing
so about
time.
5 months.
Oh damn.
But like we said, we could get it on a cycle, so you could stagger it. You know what I'm saying? So you could have it down to every 3 months that you're getting product, like into certain stages, but you're able to smoke every 3 months because of the product that you already had before.
Yeah, like if you like prep it, like if you start like the seedlings, like while your other
Exactly.
batch is like finishing up, type thing.
And that's what gets hard. That's like the dedication. But I mean, if you're just getting a good soil and you're just slapping it up and you have some nice windows, you don't mind the neighbors like kind of peeping what you're doing, then I mean you could do it with just some nice water and just the sunlight. So
But you used lights, correct?
Yes.
You didn't. Because I was asking
Yes.
he's like I wouldn't recommend doing just sunlight. He said
Yeah.
he's never done it by the window. He
Yeah.
would rather just put it outside if he's going to do that. It's
Yep.
kind of what he
exactly.
was saying.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah,
Yeah.
if I could, get it outside. Definitely
Like on
rather
a
put it
patio,
outside.
yeah.
But no, patio wouldn't be bad. But yeah, more ideal just wherever the most amount of sunlight coming from all directions is. So,
Sure.
but no. Well, I don't know. What would you say about the lights?
I definitely like it. Like, up until this point, like, I didn't even think it was like an option to like, oh, like I can grow something of my own. So like having the tent and the lights like in your house where you can like monitor it every day, like I think it worked out well, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
So
And like heat is a huge issue though when you have the lights in the tent, and if you're using halide or what is it called oh my gosh, I can't think of the name. Anyways, if you're using LED lights, it's really really cool. Like considering other lights out there are really really hot. LEDs are like one of the coolest lights you could possibly get. They have really good light penetration. If the lights are tailored to specific like settings, because there's like little things called diodes in the light, and those are going to be different colors. And so the colors that are that are different, they do different things. I think blue is like going to be your hottest color, and that's also going to be what helps the light actually penetrate the canopy of the buds. So there's also now a cool new thing that they're doing. It's called the white light. Remember?
the white LEDs, yeah, we got one of those from Mars Hydro, and it's supposed to be more of like a full spectrum light, so it's hitting like every possible, I guess, like spectrum for your plants. So they are still kind of new and everything.
Yep.
But,
And then you remember why it's white? Yeah.
because it has the RGB. the
Yeah,
red, green, and
yeah,
blue,
but
right?
it's an equal amount of RGB, so it's an equal amount of red, green, and blue, and apparently that tricks the eye into seeing a white color.
Okay.
So
Shit.
yeah,
All right.
so they're doing a bunch of cool stuff with that. But we did read that the LED lights, they have a problem because they don't have the UV lighting. So that UV lighting, it kind of it's the stuff that you want to, the reason that you want to put on lotion, so you don't burn your skin. That actually, burns plants too. So they have to have a natural defense, and that's what the THC is. That's what all the what is it called, trichomes. That's
Okay.
why those form and then burst all over the bud in in a syrupy kind of fashion, because it wants to cover the nug and help it not get burnt from the sun apparently. So yeah, other lights, they do have UV in them. So those lights will produce a higher tetramone, rating than the LED lights. That's one drawback of LED. But like I said, especially if you're doing it in your room and you don't want to run the air conditioning and waste a bunch of money on air conditioning, you can get away with fans and just an LED light. It's
So rock the LEDs
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
what's
yeah.
up. You're schooling me on some lighting there. That's what's up.
Oh, yeah.
And as we're wrapping up here, I just want to say thanks again. Californiaclouds420. Please go follow her on Instagram. Fresh from the Fresh 500. I really appreciate you guys coming out today, kicking it, dropping some knowledge on me. I've learned a lot from you guys today. So, and also too, once you guys start your YouTube channel, I will put you guys, I'll do a little, I have it like on the featured side of the YouTube page. I'll just throw your guys' channel on there. So if you're on TrueBuds TV watching, just go to, and you're on a desktop, I don't know if it's on mobile, but just go pop to the right side, click that, and go check them out, because I'm excited to see the videos you guys got coming out.
That'd be awesome. Thank you. We really appreciate you having us here.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. It's been fun for real. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
This is True Buzz, that Mary Jane. Now we ain't new to this. For my stoners and for my cannabis enthusiasts. this. Never heard a show as good as this. Yeah, number one, it's the best. Bringing in many special guests in the industry of cannabis. Business owners to growers, even artists you know of. So sit back and just roll up the perfect show for my smokers. True buds.